What's up, guys? What's going on with you? Thanks for popping by and joining us today. Welcome to beginning of the week. We'd love to hear from you all to start out the new year with you guys hitting up this voicemail number or leaving us a text or something. And that number is 828-209-8777. Man, let us know what's going on with you. What are you doing to start this new year off? Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And for all of you guys, like I've said before, for all of you guys, thank you that have hit that thing. Thanks a lot, man. Again, good to be here with all of you guys today. We are in the month of January. And dude, 2024 just packed itself up, put itself on a bus or a plane or a train or a damn boat or something like that, and went to, a retirement home or wherever years go to retire, because now we are in a new and exciting year, man. A new year. And that, whenever I say it, man, it just sounds strange to me. A new year. Doesn't that sound weird? It does, man. So if you're looking at an organizer or something that has dates on it, and it says 2018, well, you're either a hoarder or maybe you've been kidnapped, and taken to a place where dates don't exist, like space, or maybe you just aren't alive anymore and dates and years don't really matter. But for the rest of us, we are alive and we're striving and we're thriving on this spinning globe, and we're just glad to be here in the year of 2025. So that's where we're at right now. Anyways, again, good to be here on this Monday with all of you guys, and I hope the beginning of your week or shoot, man, the beginning of the year, I hope that thing has started out, smooth and started out with a bang for you. But let's get real for a second, man. People say, oh, it's the start of a new year. Oh, but really it's still the same year as last year. But people just tend to get so excited when they hear, about something new or they get something new. So in this case, it's the start of a new year, and it kind of feels as if, I don't know, for me at least, it kind of feels like someone pushed like a refresh button or maybe, I don't know, maybe, sort of maybe it's a kind of a reawakening, I guess, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's it. A reawakening, like a little bear, like a little bear hibernating in the winter. And then once spring rolls around and he just stretches, or whatever, however a bear sounds, and then that little damn honey eater just, since he's been in his little dome asylum forever, he's going to feel so good because he's had time to, recalculate himself. He's been in there just thinking about, or maybe just sleeping off this past year, and now he's up and he wants to see what's going on in this new life adventure, and kind of like us, I guess, maybe he's making changes, maybe he's doing some self-reflection, or because that's what we're doing. Maybe he did like a self-interview while he's in there, pulled out a little scratch pad and he's just jotting things down about, he's asking himself, like, am I, certain things like, am I okay? Don't, maybe don't eat as many bees this year, or, stay out of, the Harrison's trash because, that last chili pepper that I ate just didn't go down too well, or something like that, you know? And I guess that's what a self interview is. I don't know. I don't know what a self interview is. Maybe it's kind of like, maybe it's asking yourself if you were okay. If you're asking yourself if you were okay with how things are, or maybe it's something that you can change about yourself. So, something that'll help you feel better, I guess. Maybe that's what a self-interview is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making this shit up right now. And I don't know. I haven't looked up what a self-interview is, but I'm not going to either. But, maybe that's it. Because there's one thing that we all want more than anything, and that's just to feel better about ourselves, inside and outside. For instance, like a couple Christmases ago, I had gone to this Christmas party, and there was this fella there, and you could tell that he had, that it was a man, because he had that large throat knuckle, that thing poking out of his neck, whatever that is, an Adam's apple. He had that thing going on, So with that going, with that big piece of thyroid cartilage, I'll say, that was happening in his neck and all that, you could tell that he was a guy, because he had that baritone voice, he sounded like this, he sounded like that on the side of life, when it comes down to voices, I guess. And he was also like 6'5", and bald as shit, and that's what he had. And I know that there are, he had this big ass beard too, and look, man, I know that there are plenty of women that are out there that are, that are sprouting 13-year-old goatees, or maybe they're kicking out damn, 0.5 inch hair growths out of the side of their faces, or whatever, whatever. That's what happens when you get older. You start developing new hair in different areas, different hair in different places, and that's what happens when your body gets older. And man, that's just life, but this guy had a full beard, like if you just threw a pair of sunglasses on him, gave him a little guitar or whatever, he'd be the fourth member of a fourth member of ZZ Top or whatever. He had he was growing vegetables out of his beard. I even saw some little guy go in there and plant a little seedling in that thing, and next thing you know, he sprouted out a damn carrot right out of the side of that thing. But, where was I going with this? Damn. Let's see. He was... self-reflection, right? So, that cat, that big bearded cat, he went off, and a couple years went by, and I got invited to another party at the same spot, at the same house, and that man was there, and you could tell you could kind of tell that it was him, but now that long-haired gentleman, he called himself Jessica. He dressed like a woman, he acted like a woman, and I suppose that he just didn't like the accessories that God had given to him. So he wanted to, change it up a little bit. He did some self-reflection on himself, You know, he went from playing hardball to softball, you know, and look, that's his choice. It's not, you know, if that's what makes him happy, then that's what makes him happy. It's not on me to decide what makes him happy or not, you know, but I'm pretty sure when he strolled down that path of self-reflection and said, like, you know, I don't like myself this way, so you know, let's get the original plumbing changed out and do something that's going to make me, I guess, happy in a way. Something like that. You know, what's going to make me happy? You know, not me personally, but the man that, you know, got new parts installed on him or whatever. You know? And if you really think about it, that's kind of artistic in a way, you know? You know, you were one thing, and then now you're something different. You know, almost like a zebra, I guess. You know, maybe a zebra does change his stripes. You know, or a leopard, you know, licks those spots off himself or whatever. But in this case, you know, not spots or stripes, but, you know, in this case, it went from one genitalia to another. So now he's got that vulva, you know? And, but maybe he needed that self-reflection to make him feel that way, you know? Maybe, I don't know. And that's, you know, hopefully she's doing all right. But maybe this year, you know, we all have to do a little bit more self-reflection. I'm not talking about, you know, going out and getting an overhaul on your body or anything like Jessica did, but, you know, maybe take a couple steps back. You know, take a breather. You know, try to envision what it is or how, you know, how you want, you know, your life to be. You know, I guess, you know, and I feel like I'm preaching at you, you know, but it's not that. You know, I'm just, you know, maybe that's a problem with us sometimes. You know, we don't take the time to try to understand ourselves, you know, and really take the time to see, like, I don't know, how we are, I guess. I mean, if that makes any sense. I don't know if this makes any sense or not, but, you know, because, I mean, after all, the Lord gave us this damn pudding muscle inside our heads. You know, he gave us that. And we all don't seem to use it very well. And I think it's fucking blasphemy. I think it's crazy that one of the things that helps us in our everyday lives, that keeps us, you know, that keeps our, I don't know, our body intact or whatever you want to say, you know, like, well, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, we have, there's two pieces of material that really keeps us going. We got our heart and we got our brain. And the thing is, our head, our brain, it's just out in the open. You know, you would have thought that God would have designed this headpiece or something, this, you know, this a little bit better, you know, than you know, maybe put our brain in another area, you know. Not just have it loitering around out in the open so a damn bird can come by and duty on it, or you know, or a tree fall on it, or, you know, some guy with a double-edged axe just, you know, came by and just, you know, put one right in your melon. That sort of thing. I just find it weird. You know, it's all out in this open space. Anything could happen to it. But, yeah, I don't know why I got off on that, but I did. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, it's a new year. You know, maybe we should start doing some self-reflection and see what you want, you know? Because that's the one thing, man, the one thing in life that you know, life changes so quickly. And maybe taking the time to maybe thinking about, what you want, what your core values are, your core beliefs, I guess, are, you know? Maybe think about that for a second. Put that into some perspective. Maybe that's what we need. We have all these recent experiences, and all of them could be so impactful in a way that, like, maybe that's something that we could all use to, I guess just to find an impactful way of what you want with your life. I don't know. Again, I feel like I'm preaching at you today, and it's not that, man. I guess I'm just looking at it, instead of just rolling with the punches like we all do all the time, just to see how far we get, how about this? How about this year, this time, we throw that old map away, on how we do things, and we start unfolding a new map and charting out a fresh course with new paths and possibilities, and that could always be a good thing, But again, we can't get anywhere without self-reflection. And that's something that I think would help out a lot of people this upcoming year, including myself. But these are just some of the thoughts that's been swirling around in my head, and a lot of stuff has been swirling around in my head since my dog died. So, I've had more time to think about things. One thing I've been trying to do more than anything is trying to learn, and I feel like I'm on repeat right now, but try to learn a little bit more about why I feel about certain things. So I've been writing. And I know some of you are saying to yourselves, like, dude, I don't want to hear about your problems, or, man, this guy's gay as fuck, Like, come on, bucko, And that's okay, man. You could think whatever you want. That's all right. You could think whatever you want to think. It's just lately, since my puppy's, been gone for 2 months, that I've been getting I don't know, man. I've been getting mad, just angry, or maybe not. Maybe it's just frustrated. Maybe that's what it is. I've been getting frustrated with people, and I almost lose my shit sometimes. Like the other day, I was going to the grocery store, and just to get a couple items, like 3 or 4 items or whatever. And, the parking lot was just a straight up shit fest. And, so I struggled finding a parking spot. Because you know how parking lots are. They're a fucking battle zone. You got people speeding. You got seasoned retirees driving slow as hell. Like, you want to be like, hey, buddy, I need to get in there too and get my 4 gallons of Sunny D and my 2 raisin oat nut cluster bars or whatever. Then you got the Helen Kellers of the group that park over the lines, taking up more space, taking up more spaces than one spot. And then they drive a Prius. Hell, you got people and animals sleeping out there. I saw one guy outside of Target nestled up in a sleeping bag holding on to a baby deer. In the car right next to him, he had a woman with a handgun. She had that damn handgun on her lap, and she's just out there burning her long hairs off her legs. And you're like, what's going on? She's doing that with a cigarette. And you're like, how is this a parking lot? Anything could happen in a parking lot. Come on. But I pulled in and I saw this open spot, and I'm like, there we go. I got this. And then sure enough, I had to wait for some lady to walk by, and I see this oncoming car coming on, and I put my turn signal on, and then this piece of shit, this man just pulls up right in front of me and takes that spot. So you know what I gotta do? I gotta park all the way out in damn Narnia, you know? And instead of losing my shit on this guy, that was my only option, you know? Was going all the way out there, which isn't a big deal. I don't mind, you know? But God, that guy knew I was gonna be, you know, that I was gonna try to get into that space, you know? And he decided something else, which that was going to be his space. You know, so I gotta, and forgive me if I'm a little heated when I'm telling you this, but, you know, so I parked, I went into the store, and so I'm doing some shopping, and I was looking around and doing some stuff, and it got to the aisle where they hold the spaghetti, all those, those lovely condiments of, you know, Parmesan cheese and linguine alla mode or whatever it is. You know, they got all that stuff. And then sure enough, guess who comes down the aisle? Fuckhead McGee. Yep, this cat. And sure enough, right as I'm about to reach up there and grab a jar of whatever I was going to, he pulled his damn cart up right in front of me. Right next to me practically. So I couldn't reach over his cart. You know? And what I wanted to say was, hey, excuse me, can you move your cart over so I can get to this spaghetti sauce or whatever? And he said, hold on, I'll be out of the way in just a second. And that got me fired up, man. You know, I'm sure that there are people out there that are, you know, like me, you know, that can relate to this. Some of you guys can relate to this. Maybe everyone can relate to this, but I was so close to saying something to this, you know, this fucking, oh man, I just want to say so much right now, but you know, I thought, you know, where's it going to get me? You know, it's not going to get me anywhere. You know, it's just this guy, and maybe he doesn't care that much about, you know, about other people, or, you know, maybe he's just having a bad day or whatever, you know, whatever he's going through, you know, fuck him. I'm sorry, man. You know, forget it, you know, and maybe it's me, man. Maybe it's me dealing with, you know, some of these mixed emotions, man. And that's why, you know, I've been doing some journaling here and there, you know, or maybe I should call it daily writing instead of journaling. You know, journaling makes me sound like I'm putting on a Snuggie and about to drink decaffeinated tea and watch The View with those 4 nappy-headed lesbians. You know what I'm talking about? And hey, by the way, why is that show even on still? Really? Didn't one of them get into some trouble or something like that for, I don't know. Didn't they get hit with some lawsuit or something? And I don't know, man. It just seems like everything that those freaking, you know, those hoes, I'll call them hoes, right? Those girls, those ladies, those hoes, you know, everything, it turns into some fueled controversy that no one gives a shit about. You know, who cares? You know, I don't get it. I don't understand why people still are watching this damn thing. I just don't get it. Sorry, I'm getting a little heated, man. I don't get it. Who cares, right? Who cares? But anyways, the one thing that I've been jotting down, is trying to make things different this year, you know? Because one thing I want to acknowledge or show more than anything this year is I want to have more gratitude. I do. I want to be more optimistic about things. Because again, ever since Tucker passed, I just haven't been my best self, and maybe I need that hibernation. Maybe I need that little honey bear reawakening for myself, if that makes any sense. Maybe I need I want a reawakening. I do. And I guess, the one thing that I thought about was maybe if I start writing my feelings down, maybe that'll help rekindle some of myself that I've lost. I guess this is probably, I don't know, maybe this is probably getting a little too deep, but, I don't, because there's, we're touching on a lot of deeper emotional layers, I guess, right now. And some of you might just be thinking, okay, stop being a little bitch, You sound like a little bit of a bitch. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Stop being a little bitch and get on with your life. That sort of thing. But, life doesn't happen that way, But I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with all this. I guess I'm just trying to, I guess I brought it up because I guess if you're someone out there that is struggling with the same stuff, maybe not a death, but with some other shit, some family stuff, some friends, maybe you just lost your car because, somebody just decided to take it for a joyride and ran it off the side of a bridge or something like that. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is just maybe try writing something down and see if that helps. Or don't. This is all just a suggestion. I'm not a doctor or a therapist or anything like that. I mean, we're all fighting our own demons. We just are. It's just a matter of, we all deal with it in our own way, I guess. And I guess that's just how I'm dealing with my stuff. So I don't know. These are just suggestions, man. I don't know. Anyways, we got some news. Let's hop into some news. What else is going on around here? Let's see. Okay, how about this? It says, woman claims she is getting a blood transfusion from her son to remain ageless. Marcela Iglesias. Ooh, sexy. Iglesias, 47, has already shelled out more than $99,000 on various cosmetic procedures and is forking over even more for a blood transfusion from her son, Rodrigo. We'll call him Rodrigo. Fuck it, right? And he's 23, but she's trying to get the blood transfusion to reverse aging. Huh. Well, Miss Iglesias, sounds like you're a real blood banger, That's what it sounds like that we got. Right here's a real blood banger. Who does she think she is? Sonya Blade? From Mortal Kombat? She just slides in there and lights someone up with a fucking uppercut, her own son. Just takes some of that emo pudding, that blood out of his system. And when she's had enough, maybe she calls up Charlie Sheen and they, she breaks them off a taste of that little slice, that, and they're both just hitting the town and, and they're eating roast beef sandwiches or some shit, something like that. Whatever people do when they get blood transfusions, from their own children. Who does that? I mean, I guess if you're in need of it. She doesn't look like she's in need of anything. She looks like Barbie on methanol. You know, more than anything. You look at her and you're like, dude, you know, you're almost 50. Why don't you you know, act your age a little bit? But maybe I guess people could say the same thing about me, but you know, if you ask me, man, it just sounds like I don't know. It sounds a little incestual if you ask me. That's what it is. It sounds incestual as hell, you know? Yeah, it just does. And at the same time, it sounds like an episode from Jerry Springer. You remember those things? God, Jerry Springer, what a great show. So fun. You know, they had stuff on there like, I married my horse, you know, something like that. Or wild sex, you know, on the bar, you know, the snippet on the bottom, it'd be like wild sex with your own sister. And Jerry would always be like, coming up, get ready. We have the new boyfriend that just fucked this horse or whatever coming out, and the jealous cousin who owns the horse. We'll be right back. You know, not like Dr. Phil or anything, and then everyone's like, Jerry, you know, and then all of a sudden they bring that horse out, and you're like, oh my God, this guy's been pumping away at this thoroughbred. Woo-wee! Boy, this guy is locked in on something, that the hay, oats, and grains, you know. Maybe he's been holding this little carrot out flat-handed and feeding that little you know, Arabian. Maybe he's been doing it that way, but I don't know. But dude, really? You're taking blood from your own kid? You know your kid needs that blood. You know? He needs his blood. You don't need that. You know? And it kind of puts me on the you know, on the wheelhouse of stem cells. You know, I know that's been a great thing for a lot of people. And hell, maybe I need some of that. Maybe I'll just steal something off my little cousin somewhere, and, you know, or a neighbor, you know. Maybe I'll do that. You know, run up behind a little. No, I'm not gonna say that. Nah, forget all that. Anyways, what was her name again? Marcella. Woo! Just the name, Marcella Iglesias. You know, I'm telling you. And her son Rodrigo. Hi, Rodrigo. She's like, excuse me, Rodrigo, can I have some more of your T cell? And he's like, sure, Mom. That's fine here. Or, buenos dias, Mama. Yes. See? Ah. And then she just knocks his ass out and drags him over to some machine and takes on. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, what else is going on? What else is going on other than ancestral family life with blood? Let's see. Why were graham crackers invented? And it says that graham crackers were invented to stop sexual urges and desires because the inventor Sylvester, Graham, believed that eating meat and fat led to sexual excess. He thought meat and fat increased lust and was extremely anti-refined. Wait a second. And was extremely anti-refined white flour instead of favoring this doesn't make any sense. It sounds like he invented the graham cracker to stop sexual urges, and whoever was eating meat, it increased sexual lust. It says the Crusader even launched one of America. Oh, he was one of America's first vegetarians. He led a movement urging followers to swear off meat entirely, believing that wholesome, simple foods would foster a healthier, chaste life. Is that chastity? Looks like chastity. Okay. Well, from what I'm gathering from all of this, of course, someone sent me this article, so that's what I'm going off of right now. It sounds like, I don't know, man. I guess it sounds like if you ever see a woman, or maybe a tough big girl or something like that, standing outside and, in some stranger's backyard in a kiddie pool, and she's like snacking on one of those chastity crackers, because that's what I'll call them, then man, you better slap that shit out of her mouth and put a little bit of farm bird in that thing, scoop some pollo, or maybe some fresh deli meat or something like that. Scoop that to her, because I think every man needs a woman that's not afraid to eat some meat, I guess. I mean, slice her off a little piece of London broil and dangle that from a heartstring or whatever. That's ridiculous. It also sounds like this man's an incel. Or maybe an asexual, because that's insane. Not to want, like, it sounds like he doesn't want to have sex with anybody. I mean, did this little baby cat hate women? That's my question now. Or was it something darker? I wonder. Something like, I mean, I don't know why I'm bringing it up again, but like the horse, Maybe he was on that Jerry Springer episode. Maybe he'd like to have sex with certain types of animals instead of, having sex with people. Or maybe he liked doing intercourse with some type of food, and that's why he invented that, that G cracker, that thing, that graham cracker. Maybe his mom said, "Quit playing with your food." So he turned to the dark side and started fornicating with a piece of mango or whatever. And then he moved on to a fish, a strong fish too. I'm talking about a fish that does, push-ups or swim-ups or something like that. A bass, a shark, something. That would be, maybe that's where his head went. Maybe he wasn't having sex with animals. He was having sex with food, But what do I know, man? Maybe he just likes to, maybe he's all about himself. Maybe he just likes to bend over and he likes to check out his little dirty basket in the mirror. He wanted to check out what he had going on. He wanted to see that real estate from the back. Because let's get real, man. This is the 1800s. 1800s. Dude, those were dirty people. So maybe he was just using that, doing that little hidey hole magic trick or whatever you want to call it. Maybe he was doing that as a hobby. And he didn't want to have, like, actual sex with anybody. But, I mean, I don't know. What do I know? But that's weird that the guy that invented a graham cracker or whatever did it because he wanted people to abstain from sex. Maybe he needs to write down some stuff. Maybe he needs to do some daily writing or some journaling or something like that. Hot damn. Okay. Well, and that's all I got for the news. And thank you guys for sending that to me. I appreciate. I'm gonna have to look up that a little bit more and see where that takes me. But actually, I don't want to. That would be weird. But anyways, all right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for joining me again this week. Man, think about some self-reflection, man. You know, think about what it is, where you want to be in life. And see, now I feel like I'm having that Jerry Springer moment, because he used to do that thing at the end, like, whatever his speeches would be. It'd be like, if you aren't, if you aren't touching your body, then who's going to do it for you, or whatever. Thanks. Have a good day, or whatever he said. But no, seriously, maybe write some things down, see how that makes you feel. If you had a tough year last year, let's begin this year out in a different course. Let's see how that makes you feel. Maybe it'll, create a new perspective and new ideas for you. Maybe there's a hole that you just can't dig yourself out of, where I'm at, in a way. And hopefully, it will lead me to grasp things a little bit better, and not get so angry at some, well, I'm not going to say it. I've already called them enough names. Some a-hole, right? That doesn't want to be curious or commandeering, I guess, to other people. So, if I use that word correctly, but anyways. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you next week. Again, thank you for joining us. And thanks again. Be true to yourselves, and love you guys. Be well, all right?